Our team was quite small, three of us, Myranda, Stanley, and Paris, and I. And it's equal parts social engineering as well as technical. Myranda had the technical lead, and she'll be finishing up with an explanation of exactly how this all comes together. So I'll start with the background. The problem is that many of the researchers can't find the data they need. We found that out this week in the room, and in 2016, the Belmont Forum commissioned a study that found that over 50% of a researcher's time may go toward finding, cleaning, and fitting the data for use. And so there is no reason for that problem to persist, where everybody is sharing in the amount of time burnt just testing data that is applicable for their uses. So the first part of this problem was scaled down. We wanted to take two repositories that were relatively similar in the data that they handle, with a lot of overlap, and we found that even with a schema.org landing page description in JSON, which we thought would solve a lot of problems for federated search, it turns out that we had to build index files by hand and have a lot of human conversations about how to mash up the data, the metadata anyway. And there were even technical challenges, like once we found all the data, trying to put them all on the map tend to be a little bit much for packages like Leaflet. So there were a lot of technical considerations, and we left it there about 1.5 years ago. This week, we decided to revive the process, and we went for some heavy hitters as far as ocean data repositories, Nmor in Brest, France, BODC in Liverpool, and then Emodnet out of Belgium for the EU, Emodnet Physics, and ERDAP, which is based in NOAA on the West Coast in Monterey, and with Kevin O'Brien in Seattle. And so we were able to go ahead and query or ask them for their endpoints. A big point here is that a lot of the APIs for the big data repositories are not advertised. So when the average user goes to find the data, they have to go through serially through the data and really shop for it without being able to pull an index and see if there's data that are fit for use. So we're testing those as well. And this is a statement that is pretty common coming back from the repositories, that many of their services and endpoints aren't advertised or documented. So you have to know. It's about who you know and whether or not they're willing to give you the information, hence the social engineering. So it's not OWHAC week, but it is Oceanhack week. The workflow is pretty straightforward. From each one of the repositories, we read their XML files and looked at their endpoints through a combination of Python and R programming, took the resulting data and graphs and put them out on GitHub, at least for now. And I'm gonna hand it over to Myranda.
Hi.
You're at 3.5 minutes, just so you know.
Okay, so these are the graphs that I built, and I'll just explain them for a little bit. The one on the right is ERDAP plus Emodnet data. It is actually a network diagram of all of their data. So the one on the left was when we just had Emodnet, it's all blue. The one on the right, the orange nodes represent specific data sets, and then the blue nodes represent metadata about those data sets. So title, abstract, keywords, authors, things like that. And actually, if you zoom into these, they're all labeled. And so you can see the identifier of a specific data set and then all of its attributes. So one of the most useful parts of this is you can see how all of the data sets are connected from these different repositories. You can keyword search it, and then you can use graph algorithms to do much faster and more efficient searches on data sets. So this is just 2 repos, but the idea would be to expand it to a lot more.
So we ran out of time. Basically, it's a mini multi-year project, and it's going to depend on a lot of conversations with a lot of different data providers. But for each one that we knock out, there's one less place to have to search for data. So what's next? The effort continues between Oceanhack weeks. There are other ocean and geoscience hackathons that we intend to take the project to, and it is a large volunteer effort that we can all, I think we can all solve it together. Myranda, I don't know if you had anything to add.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. This is awesome. So, all right, so we are ready to roll into the next one.